What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all the above. Today we are reacting to PBD going on the Jubilee podcast. Verse 20, spoiled, narcissist, thinking they deserve everything for free handouts type communists on the left. As we know, they've been having some really viral interviews recently in debates, and the Democrats are always the same victim mindset, free everything, give me. And the conservatives are like, work hard, treat people how you want to be treated, don't obsess over skin color, work hard to get to that pinnacle of success. And it's always opposite. But I think the debates on Jubilee have been going very well lately. I think it exposed the Democrat and the liberals on how they think. Hey, Squid Man, hope you're having a great day. YouTube's still shadow banning the hell out of me, so it's good to see some people are seeing my videos. But first, we're going to the dark money groups. Taylor Lorenz, liberal extravaganza herself, exposed Democrat dark money group paying influencers to be pushing Democrat Party propaganda. And we've already known this forever when it came to BLM, the Palestine protests, anything that caused havoc on the American people. The Democrats are always behind. No King's protests. Dark money also supports those protests as well. It's never organic with the left. Everything they push and push and push on the American people is usually covered from dark money organizations. For example, George Soros, who funds these DAs, these corrupt judges, these liberal propagandists in the mainstream media as well. But let's see what they have to say, and then we're going to get to the PBD podcast on Jubilee.
Influencers in my story are so desperate and they cannot stop making up just bold-faced lies. So first of all, since my story came out, about 90 liberal influencers accepting money from the 1630 Fund, a notorious liberal dark money group.
A group you associate with got money from that too.
Look at that disgusting shirt that guy you just saw says. It says MAGA, Make America Gay Again. I cannot stand people like that. Low testosterone soy boys.
Which funds your cohort that you are accepting, get this audience, $8,000 a month from. That's you accepting dark money, right?
They have tried to claim that I somehow am accepting money from a dark money group. This is absurd. I mean, it's just patently absurd.
No, it's not. And it's if you read through her article, you can see the way that she like disingenuously portrays the information. Taylor Lorenz talks about how much money was given in 2020 by this dark money group 1630. Then she links the tax filings. Then she talks about how much they donate in 2022, conveniently not linking the tax form, which shows that a group she's associated with took money from them. Then she talks about the money in 2023 and then links the tax filing, but it's not even the correct tax filing. It's just an article talking about it. This is so sketchy. This part of the article to me suggests that she knew she had some kind of association with this dark money.
The LLC that I'm part of has not accepted any money from the 1630 Fund, ever, in any capacity.
We just saw it on the screen. What?
The Omidyar Network is also not a dark money group.
Omidyar Network Services LLC. If there was some kind of miscommunication or misconception, maybe she didn't realize that the group got dark money or anything or blah blah blah, she could have just said that. But she's like pretending that the 2022 tax filing said she refused.
And you found some weird receipt from I think 2020 of a $45,000 donation from the 1630 Fund to some organization within the Omidyar Network that's not the Reporters in Residence program.
So some weird receipt. You mean the public tax filings from 2022? And it is actually to Omidyar, but just not associated with you? How does your brain work?
And now you're like on TikTok just trying to make shit up. You're lying in your video. And I know that you use this like intonation that makes people trust you because you're an influencer. But this is exactly the problem with people getting their news from influencers.
She's constantly trying to position herself as an influencer. She has YouTube videos. She wants to be a influencer. So she wants to be an influencer until she wants to criticize influencers. And now influencers are just dishonest pieces of shit. But your best friend is Hassan Piker, a influencer.
Don't you love just seeing the left eat itself alive? I love it. I am so here for it. 24/7. Eat each other alive for the frauds and communist libtards that you guys are. So let's see what she says. I'm not a fan of Taylor Lorenz, but as I said, anytime the left wants to eat themselves alive, I'm going to support it every step of the way because I don't like their policies. I don't like what they stand for. I think they have no morals. And they've sold their soul to the devil. It's really that simple. So it's being exposed by Taylor Lorenz. Oh, sorry, guys. 1 sec. Let me fix this. My camera just went out for some dumb reason. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. What's going on? Why is it doing this? Camera not recognized. That's strange. One sec, guys. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, so let's see. Dark Money Group paying pro-Democrat influencers up to $8,000 a month. Could you imagine getting paid $8,000 a month just to push propaganda for the DNC? It's so laughable because no one's buying this crap anymore. Look at this. This is one of the top influencers, Olivia Jelena. Here she is when President Biden, or when Biden was president, taking a picture with her. She is that big fat liberal influencer that was supposed to win back the young man vote for the Democrat Party, because as we know, they are trending at record rates for I'd say the Republicans, because I'm not really MAGA. I wouldn't consider myself MAGA anymore. I am America first, but I don't think Trump pushes those type of policies. She's doing good, Squid Man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we are officially been together almost 1 year. I'm living with her and her kids, and yeah, it's been going really good. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. Jazz Jennings, as you know, huge trans, one of the original trans people that transitioned when she was younger. Her brother supposedly is an influencer for the left. He was paid. As we know, Lee McGowan, better known as Politics Girl, also being reported to be paid from this Dark Money Group. David Pakman, well-known liberal, he calls himself independent, liberal podcaster, also exposed. These people, nothing they post online is truthful at all. It's all just talking points they receive probably daily from the DNC, because they know that the younger generation is not falling for the propaganda anymore. We, the people, now control how the news flows go, and they can't just lie on big media anymore. So now what do? They have to pay young influencers to push the propaganda, and it's not working. And as I said, I love to see the left eat itself. Seeing Democrats call other Democrats for dark money schemes is hilarious to me. Anyways, let's get to the main reason why you're here. That is the Jubilee debate, where Patrick Bet-David, Valuetainment, demolishes these 20 communists, anti-capitalist libtards who are just professional victims, want free everything, and they can't debate where they stand, and so PBD puts them in place. Let's get started. For the first part, I got about 6 clips from the debate. As you know, Jubilee is very strict when it comes to streaming their full-on debate, so you have to do clips. So I was able to get 5 of the best clips in my opinion, and we're going to react to them together. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started.
I like to be free, but that's why I'm anti-capitalist.
Well, maybe you are
that is why I'm anti-capitalist, because capitalism
Venezuela.
removes that choice.
We got 2 countries, North Korea, South Korea. One is communism, and one is capitalism.
Yes.
North Korea's GDP last year was
Laptop is
$23 billion.
Are we
There are
judging
many
countries'
companies-
values based
there
off
are many
GDP
that's
and not
because
what
that's
they
a
value
job.
for?
Freedom of
See, as you guys are going to tell off the bat, liberals are going to constantly interrupt him when he's trying to display his thought process every single time a new person comes up. But that's what we expect in today's society, because you can't have civil conversations with these Democrats.
speech.
Are
You can't,
humans-
like, if you lived in North Korea, you wouldn't be able to do what you're doing right now. You wouldn't have a voice. In South Korea, I'm gonna give you stats. In South Korea, their GDP is $1.7
South
trillion.
Korea is also owned by like 5
70
companies
times-
in total in the entire
70
country.
times better
You
than
think
North
that's something to
Korea.
live by? If you
No,
are
what I'm
employed
saying
by
is
the
people
top
wanna
5
be free.
countries,
Do-
you are
do-
practically
do you like to
unemployed
be
in
free?
these countries.
Do you like to be free?
I'm not going to be free in a country like South Korea where I'm only employed
Do you
in
like
5
to be free
companies
to
or
call
no
somebody
job.
out like me? Do you like to be free where you can have a strong opinion? Do you like to be free to have your
I
dreams
like to be
as-
free, but that's why I'm anti-capitalist.
Well, maybe you ought to
That
move
is
to
why
North
I'm
Korea or
anti-capitalist, because
Cuba or
capitalism
Venezuela.
removes that choice. There is no real incentive of capitalism because the incentive is survival.
If I
when
were
you get
to-
into communism, the incentive is for the common
I
good.
love that. I got
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Communist means for the common good. If you go to any of these other countries that are communist countries, you will never see that these people have rights. The government controls every aspect of your life. How much you can eat per day, how much you can get paid per day, what you can do in your society throughout the day. Yeah, I mean, Squid Man, he was the better of the 2 candidates. I don't regret my vote either, but when it comes to immigration, I think they're doing it way too slowly. I think they are pushing out these strongly worded letters, and they're not doing mass deportations as we voted for. Also, Epstein, they're fully covering that up. We know that's Mossad, Israel, CIA, and they're covering that up as well. No deep state arrests at all lately. That doesn't mean they're not doing good stuff. I do agree that zero border crossings is good, but I look at my day-to-day in this society I live in, and I think nothing has gotten better. In regards to my state, everyday prices, the homeless crisis, crime, it's all stayed exactly the same. So that's what I'm frustrated about. I thought day-to-day functions would get better fast. And yeah, that's the only disappointment I would say.
Offer for you before we move on. If I were to give you your $2,350, which is the cost to renunciate your citizenship, and I paid you your first class, flight to whatever communist country, and $20,000
communist country.
Would you give up your citizenship to go to that country? Whichever communist country you want to go to.
Yeah,
Cuba, we can give you Venezuela, we give you North Korea, any one of those you want to go to. Choose any one of them, I'll give you a one-way ticket and I'll fund it for you.
She just said Venezuela is not a communist country, nor Cuba. And if you look at these people that are volunteering to be at this debate, they all look the same. Young, entitled, also ugly. Like, look at this woman in the back right here with the black hair. She looks like a gothic person, just with like piercings all over her face. They just look miserable. They just want free everything. That is what these liberals stand for these days. Free everything and taxpayers to fund it. Also supporting illegals with free everything as well while your taxes pay for it. You're going to see like a connection throughout all these videos of how these people act. They talk over you. They don't know the facts, and they want free everything.
Feminism was one of the worst things that happened in America because it pinned men against women. Do you realize what number just came out last week? Do you know what our childbirth rate is last week?
Really quickly, do you think that women are so stupid that they've been brainwashed? Okay, so you don't think that they've just fallen to this feminist propaganda? You don't think they're idiots?
No, I don't think that, but I do think people can be manipulated and
brainwashed.
They're
not stupid enough to do that because the majority of people are splitting
there are so many people that bought into a philosophy that stole decades away from their lives.
The whole feminist movement was based on lies. It was the Johnny Depp, and who is that woman that he was with that lied about the whole entire situation, was poop on his bed? Amber Heard, is that it? I don't know, but that's where the whole feminist movement started. So right off the gate, it was based off a lie. And then you have these women coming out saying, I don't need a man. I'm never going to sleep with a man. I'm better than this. And then started to like posting videos of saying, if you don't make this much, if you don't do this much, if you don't pay for all my bills, I ain't even going to give you the time of day. The whole feminist movement has been taken by these crazies on the left. And I'm for women's rights, but the women that we see that are pushing this craziness on a daily basis, these hardcore leftist liberals, they're insane.
Decades away from their lives because they bought into an idea that didn't produce the results.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about capitalism is the best economical system that provides the best results for people.
But we can't just jump back and forth between claim to claim to claim. So the claim about feminism brainwashing people into being single mothers.
I didn't. I said feminists. Originally.
Also, with Jubilee, you have to pause it more. Otherwise, they will make you take down your stuff. Feminism also, yes, it teaches you to have one parent in the household while hating on men. It's disgusting. That's how you depend on the system. You get free housing. You get free insurance. You get this EBT BS, which you see these fat single women with 10 children these days who live by themselves single, just bumming off the system. That also is new feminism in today's society, just expecting everything for free handout.
Brainwashed women to believe men are the enemy. That led to where we are today. Last week report came in.
Single mothers?
Yes, in many cases, because they don't need men.
Do you have evidence for that? 100%. You really think a single mother wants to be a single mother?
Absolutely, we have evidence of that.
You think the single mother making minimum wage down the road, like working for some grocery store, having to take care of all of her children, is just like, I just don't need a man. I just want to be independent.
What percentage?
I live in abject poverty.
What percentage of the U.S. revenue that we get in you think we use for entitlement programs? What percentage?
I don't remember the exact.
What do you think the number is? So we bring in $4.9 trillion.
What we do in private spending.
We bring $4.9 trillion in. Okay, the U.S. revenue comes in. What percentage do you think goes to entitlement programs?
I don't know.
What do you think is a reasonable number?
Yeah, Squidman, it's because they think that they're gonna like meet this big influencer who's rich and that's what they deserve. Yet when it comes to what they bring to the table, they bring nothing. They bring their narcissism and expectations while they provide zero when it comes to the relationship, which should be 50-50. And that's what I'm saying. They need to come to reality that most of these women will not get these guys, especially with that mindset of, I deserve this, you give me this. They're expecting they're going to get like a rich dude off the bat. And no rich dude wants to deal with that. They can find a woman who provides for herself, who treats the man exactly how they want to be treated. That's feminism for you, I'm telling you.
Well, what you're calling entitlement programs, I'm actually not sure what you mean by that.
I'm talking about Social Security. I'm talking about
so
Section
welfare.
8. I'm talking about any of these.
It's much less than other OECD countries.
What percentage do you think it is?
I don't remember the exact percentage, but
I
it's
want
much
you to
less than
guess.
other
What do you
OECD
think it
countries.
is? You think it's
We are
10%,
far behind.
20%, 30%? What do you think the number is?
No, but it's relatively low compared to
But
other
what
OECD
do you
countries.
think it is? Can you guess the number?
I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I've already said that.
68%. How much more entitlement?
68%. Can we fact check that?
You can fact check that.
Okay.
Please do so.
Please.
68% goes to entitlement
Of
programs.
our federal budget?
No, of the revenue that comes in.
That's
68%.
crazy.
Per capita GDP.
Not GDP. You're confusing the two different things here. Actual tax revenue that we get.
Okay, so tax revenue.
68%
Okay, now
of
that
it
we're
goes
specific.
towards entitlement programs. 68%.
This woman needs to shut up. You see, this is what's wrong with them. They will talk and talk and talk over you and not let you try to get your point across. It's mind-boggling. Here we got another liberal woman.
Incentives is the only thing that can make humans do things, get up out of bed every day, which has never been the case historically. It's not the case psychologically.
Historically, it's never been the case?
No,
What
I
has
mean,
been the case?
So we've seen
What's been the incentive?
the incentive is intrinsic motivation. Passion.
Intrinsic motivation?
Of course. Have you ever heard of intrinsic motivation?
Of course I have. So you
Okay.
think people are going to go just do anything for no incentives?
The incentive is intrinsic, meaning passion, interest, and honing your skills.
Whether
honing-
you get paid or not.
Well, the problem is that we're forcing people to, need to, work to survive.
So
and
what's
system.
the alternative? So give me another solution, another
May I
economical
finish the
system.
talking
Yeah,
point?
actually,
Right,
I'm
awesome.
curious.
So yeah, the psychological theory of self-determination is widely accepted in psychology. It basically explains that intrinsic motivation and passion is actually what predicts incentive. You're arguing that incentive is integral to profit-driven motivation. That's not true. Extrinsic motivation, at all times, at every single case, is going to predict less creativity, less motivation, less skill, etc. Intrinsic motivation is what causes things like technological development. Some of the greatest breakthroughs have been from people who are devoted in honing their skill.
So should they get paid for it?
I think that we shouldn't live in a system that privately owns the means of production and forces people in this
What
position.
college?
So she believes that the government should own those requirements. I don't get it. So we shouldn't be able to. I just don't get how people think this way at all. And that's what I'm saying. That's what eventually turns into socialism or communism, where the government takes control of all the assets, all the money, all the means of where you purchase your everyday essentials, because they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to think about money.
Did you go to?
USC,
You went to USC. What did you major in?
sociology.
Sociology. Who's your hero as a professor? Who's
Wow,
the
these are-
professor you look
This
up
doesn't seem like a topic
to? Do you know
that's
why I
related to
asked this question?
capitalism.
The reason why I asked this question is because somebody convinced you of that.
I don't
Somebody
think it's-
convinced you that.
Yep.
that
So
is the way
psychology
that
and studies convinced
produces-
me of this fact
Yeah,
about
but,
the human
but
mind.
unfortunately, to your claim, results show that the greatest
Results
economical
show that
system
intrinsic
is
motivation predicts more
capitalism
creativity
that allows
and more
people to go
profit
above and
than
beyond
anything
and
like
solve
extrinsic
every
motivation.
single issue out there. An entrepreneur who gets up, who says,
What was your
"I'm
claim
gonna
again,
be-
mister?
I'm going to incentive."
Incentive. What about
Who has
incentive?
an incentive to go out there and build their lives, and you put
So
no
I'm saying that this
monetary
incentive that you're talking about,
Yeah.
what predicts the best incentive, the best drive, and the best
So what do
creativity
you think about
has been
Elon
proven
Musk?
by
What do you think
psychology.
about Elon Musk?
Can we respond to my claim?
This is about incentive.
All right,
though.
awesome. So you're arguing that incentive is
Don't match
intrinsic and
his
tied to extrinsic
typical
motivation.
liberal woman.
What we find is that the best incentive comes from intrinsic motivation.
So a person that's passionate about solving an issue is going to build something bigger than somebody else that's not.
Yeah, so someone who has a true passion for
Yeah.
this.
So
Exactly. So profit motivation is not the thing that's driving innovation,
Of
right?
course it is.
Psychology.
Of course
So
it is.
psychology proves
There-
that that's
if-
not the
if
case.
there's not-
that
if
profit's
there's-
not the reason
if
that we
there's
have the
not-
greatest inventions.
That doesn't even make sense. If there's not a profit of something you build or release to the public, then why would you release it if there was no profit or benefit of it? This woman, I don't even get what she's saying.
today.
I don't know
She's
if I
going in circles, typical liberal talk.
disagree with the fact that there's a passion behind it. Are you saying people with passion, even if there wasn't the incentive to make as much money as they would make, people would still pursue it, even with or without money.
That's what psychology
Well,
says.
your claims are wrong.
So she's saying we should just do all this for free with there being no profit or benefit of money intake just because it's fun. So we're just going to just do it forever, even though we don't get paid for it, doesn't benefit our lives in a daily basis. Like, this is communism logic right here.
That's not true.
Whoever your psychology professor is, if you look at data and you find out how America, that's only been around for 249 years, schooled all the other countries that have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years more, they did better than others because the incentive
because they accumulated profit, right, to 1% of the population and continue to produce on that basis.
Not necessarily.
Right? We have this. Okay.
It's not necessarily.
Do we want to respond because you can say that
you've been interrupting the entire time? So if you're saying about the 1% are the problem and they're the only ones that make money.
That's
a lot
not
of people make money. You said the profit goes to the 1%.
I'm explaining how it is that America has become the dominant power that it is now, right? What we see is that because we have this engine, right, this desire to accumulate profit, we morally justify things like going to other countries, imperializing them, colonizing them, extracting their resources, right, to funnel our country, right? Social democracies in the Nordic countries don't do this. So yeah, they might not be the wealthiest power, but they have higher rates of education, literacy, human satisfaction, etc. Right, so it depends on what we actually value in a society. Do we value well-being or do we value profit accumulation?
Validates your point. If that's the case, people would move to those states. They don't. When you judge a great restaurant by the amount of people that come in, you can say the food sucks here.
Yeah,
you can say the service sucks.
This is the problem. This is why these liberals never learn anything new, like new ideas, and they just remain stupid because they just interrupt, talk over. Before you even say anything, they hate you because they know you're a conservative and you don't agree with their ideologies or their mindset. This is why they just keep on getting more dumb and their policies keep on getting worse. It's because they don't listen. They just have their stupid ideology and it's my way or the highway.
People that live in Germany.
But everybody's lined up to want to come here. They're not lined up to go into those countries.
They're
just used by professors as theories.
There were millions of people that also lived in Germany in the 1920s.
I lived in Germany before as well for 2 years.
All of their talking points are just so dumb on the left. And again, I'm not happy at all with how the conservatives have been running this government or really taking advantage of what we have, which is all the branches of power. But I will tell you, the Democrat talking points, these liberals and what they say, it just blows my mind. It's like dealing with a baby who doesn't get what they want, so they just throw a tantrum.
For all of you here can't stand the phrase MAGA, Donald Trump, any of that stuff. Is that a fair assessment?
Fair. Of course, okay. Look at them.
So think about it this way. So maybe you're right that the Democratic Party that's been earning your vote for a long time wants to keep you there because they'll have your vote for the rest of your life.
They have
she votes liberal. Look at this. Look at this fun-looking face right there. She's definitely voted for him every time that she's been at a poll voting for someone. You can tell. Just look at him. It's so easily be traced these days. Just look at that face.
Ever earned my
Who
vote.
did you vote for in 2024?
In 24, I voted for the socialist candidate.
Who was that?
Claudia de la Cruz, I believe.
Who did you vote for in 2020?
I was actually not able to vote. I was in a hospital.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, because of results of capitalism.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so I didn't have access to proper health care.
Squid Man, you are 100% correct, my friend. I'm not left or right. I see myself as more as independent. Yeah, the more I get into politics and seeing what these two-party systems do, I'm like, screw both of them. We need to just have an America first, truly America first independent party. And the more I listen to Nick Fuentes, the more I'm like, this dude should lead it. But or Thomas Massie. I really like Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and especially what they've been doing recently.
Or even access to a proper job that would sustain me as a disabled person.
Are you comfortable being specific on what happened?
I
you
guess
don't have
so.
to if you're not comfortable
I'm
with it.
also mentally ill, so that was something I had to deal with.
Mentally
ill? I'm mainly mentally ill because I am disabled in a capitalist country.
Tell me more about mentally ill. Who qualified you as somebody that's mentally ill?
Me and...
Of course. This is an important part. Who told her she was mentally ill? Herself. This is the type of people that transgender and these woke ideology movements target. A woman like this one, she is the perfect example. She is the person, if you were to look up ideologies of a woke left woman or professional victims, her face would be on that plaque. Crazy.
My doctor team.
Hi, Dr.
convinced you
Team.
that you're mentally ill?
Me and my doctor team.
What's the specific category of mental illness? Is there one?
Yeah,
You know why I asked
I'm a
this question?
victim.
Let me explain to why I asked this
So
question.
I don't even like the psychological industry. I don't really stand for like Sigmund Freudian politics or
Sure.
anything like that. So if you're
Yeah, I
going to
asked-
debate the ethics
not.
of psychology,
I'm not. Where I'm going with this is going back to the same thing with if the money were to divide it equally, it'll
Yeah.
end up being worth out within 5 years. My trouble is, in many cases, somebody you and I look up to will say something to us that we choose to believe for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately, it could be something where you have ADHD, you're mentally ill,
Exactly.
you're poor, you're
Yep.
this, you're
But
that,
why-
and we get to choose to buy into that or not. And if you do,
so you're
un-
saying I'm not.
The teachers, the schools, the doctors who believe in this indoctrination ideology, they love women like this woman. They target people like this who have like maybe small issues, then they want to drug them up, or might get picked on, then they want to tell them they're the wrong gender. They love and target women like this. I'm telling you.
Mentally ill or I'm
not saying
disabled.
you are or you're not. I would challenge it to go a little bit deeper to see if there's anything you can do about it.
So you're asking
Yeah.
me about my health. You're asking me about my
I'm
disability
not.
and my.
I will say we are in a market
Professional
where, stay
victim.
with me here,
Mhm.
there is a market where there's profit to convince you to you have issues to
Yep.
take the medication because they're making money.
Yeah, but I
and
don't
I'm
have
not
access to the
supportive of that.
medication. I don't have access to even a result or a solution to my disability as someone with a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic.
Have you been able to go to different doctors and get yourself tested? And see-
Yeah.
You have?
Yes.
And in California,
Yes, but not
And who-
enough.
who paid
I can't
for it?
find a specialist.
you can't
I
find a
can't
specialist.
find a specialist
Is there
for who
anyone
I
in your
am.
life that's
I
willing to
can't
pay
find
for the
anyone.
specialist?
Well, they could or they would if they had
Anybody
money,
in
but
your-
they,
Would
yeah,
you be okay if I pay for a specialist for you to go see?
yeah.
Would you take money from a capitalist to help you go see specialist?
I mean, yeah, sure, why
I'm
not?
going to have you go see two. Where do you live in California?
Yeah,
I'm going to have you go see two specialists. But would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may?
no.
You're not.
No,
So you
you
simply-
choose as a psychologist.
I
You're
would-
choosing who gets to determine what my mental health looks like.
what I
No, he's saying let's get a second opinion of another professional that doesn't know you to overlook to see if they are targeting you for how you look or just to drug you up. That's a real thing. They get incentives and they get paid to put people on these medicines. And the more they get, the more money, the more people they put on these depressants, these anti-anxiety, all this stuff, they get more money from the government because they're drugging you up, changing you into a person you are not. And so he's trying to get a different perspective. I see nothing wrong with that, especially if he's paying for the bills.
No.
okay, then I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, so I think
Amazing. Amazing. He's willing to help you solve your issues, and this is your response.
That is why I'm anti-capitalist, because capitalism.
Oh, yeah, we already reacted to that one. This is the last one. Best for last, guys.
Economic organization the world has ever seen. It made me think of a very particular picture from history.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you know this is a little history lesson. In 1900, King Leopold II of Belgium determined that the entire land of the Democratic Republic of the Congo was his personal property. And within 10 years, capitalists came out. They exploited all the land, extracted trillions of dollars of resources. 15 million Congolese died. For reference, the Holocaust killed 6 million people. And the most famous picture from that time in history is a rubber worker staring at the disembodied hands of his 8-year-old daughter because he didn't hit his rubber quota. I'm willing to bet that man worked harder to hit that rubber quota than anything you've ever worked for in your entire life. And I think when you say this is
A
the
bold
best system
statement.
that's ever been created, to me, that's the result. That's what happens when there's no rules.
It's devastating when you hear stories like that. I don't disagree with you. They had it hard. They worked very hard, and they had risk on the line. Many times it was their lives that was on the line. And you see that in many different places when you go back and study history. That's why today in America, that can't happen. In America, you have a choice to do what you want to do with your life. When we go back and look at those stories, we can go to see what communism did. How many lives were killed because of communism control? You don't need to go through that number. You hear the numbers between
Damn
60
right,
to 100
Squid
million.
Man.
We can go
Couldn't have
that
said
route.
that
But if you're
better.
talking about which provided the best economical system today, you judge it by how many want to go live somewhere that gives you that opportunity, and that is America.
Do you know why kids can't work in America?
Why kids can't work in
Yeah,
America?
why there's child labor laws.
Yeah, because of child labor laws.
It was labor unions. They were getting shot at by police officers to fight for the weekend, to fight for the 40-hour work week.
Yeah.
Another good example is the 1908 mill children's strike. It was thousands of kids who were working 80-hour work weeks striking so they would only have to work 50 a week. That's what happens when there's no rules, right? And then the government had to come in and say, you can't employ children. So I think capitalism
We don't
itself,
disagree here with that. I don't think we're sitting here talking about child labor. Right?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me talking about capitalism is the best system because it provides child labor in America?
I'm
No.
saying that capitalism, there's no guardrails inherently. The government has to come in. People have to go and organize. And I think what you've seen for the past 50 years under neoliberal politics is that's slowly being chipped away. All of the good things of the New Deal, like Social Security, the 40-hour work week.
I do think you need law and order, but also at times, you know, the amount of rules you put in place can prevent incentives. Right now, if you think about drones, warfare is changing, okay? And 70 to 80% of all drones that are being built today are being built by a company called DJI in China. Ukraine was building 1,000 drones a day at $500 and going and hitting $5 million equipment of Russia, destroying them. 68% of their attacks was from drones. When you come to America, look at us. We're at 1 to 2% at the top. Let me explain my point to you here. Part of it is overregulation. Overregulation, FAA laws, this laws, that law. So 500 startups that got into the drone business, they walked away because it's overregulation. Many cases, when you say, I want to put this rule in place, great. Another person, no, I want to go this much. No, I want to go this much. No, I want to go this much. It eventually gets to the point that it chokes the innovator, and that's also not good.
I would disagree. I think regulation is the reason why there's no lead in our gas. You were talking about incentives. The only incentive that really matters to a good capitalist is profit. It is profitable to put lead in the gas. And it doesn't matter if it lowers the IQs of kids living nearby by 15 points.
Someone's convinced you at a young age that these capitalists are bad people.
Well, then
why
were they fighting against taking lead out of their gas?
Think about it this way. You know, the main thing, I don't know if you know Michael Burry's. You ever seen?
That's the end of that one. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I do agree that a lot of these people who own these big companies, for example, Amazon, even Elon Musk, a lot of them don't have good intentions. And yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Have a blessed day.